Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we are tackling a nightly struggle that is, well, probably playing out in millions of households around the world right now: teen sleep. If you're a parent or an educator trying to support a tween or teen, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? The bedtime battles, the morning exhaustion, the constant lingering presence of the smartphone. But here's the thing. We are going to approach this without a single ounce of shame or judgment. We aren't here to lecture or punish anyone. Instead, we're going to look at some fascinating science-backed strategies pulled from a really fantastic guide by PlayPrintPals, which was created specifically to help parents and teens collaborate on getting better rest. Okay, let's dive into this. Picture this. It's 11:47 p.m. Your teen is huddled under the blanket, phone glowing in the dark. They told themselves just 5 more minutes of scrolling, but, that was over an hour ago. Does this sound familiar? It's a highly relatable and, let's be honest, incredibly frustrating reality for almost every teen and parent out there. As our friendly mascot in the guide, Luna the Night Owl, reminds us, you are absolutely not alone here. Almost every family deals with this exact moment. But why does it happen? And more importantly, why is it so incredibly hard to just put the device down and go to sleep? Well, the reality of these late nights leads to some very specific, really tough outcomes. We're talking scrolling instead of sleeping, waking up completely exhausted and super grumpy, and feeling weirdly anxious the next day for no apparent reason. Now, as parents, it is so easy to view this as a behavioral flaw, isn't it? We think if they would just listen and go to bed, they wouldn't be so cranky. But as we explore this material today, we really need to completely shift our perspective. This isn't about laziness. Actually, scratch that. It's not even about rebellion. What we are actually looking at is a powerful biological reaction. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it breaks down what's actually happening inside your teen's head. On one side, we have brain HQ, the prefrontal cortex. This is their logical, decision-making center, and it is actively under construction during the teenage years. It's like a giant building project. It's simply not fully built yet. On the other side, we have the emotion engine, the amygdala. This is the feeling center, and right now it is fully online and extra sensitive. So when your teen decides to keep scrolling at midnight, it's because their long-term decision-making center is literally under construction, while their craving for emotional stimulation is in total overdrive. And okay, if the whole brain construction zone wasn't enough, there's another massive biological factor at play here. It's called a chronotype shift. During adolescence, a teenager's biological wiring actually changes. Their internal clock naturally shifts, making them feel sleepy much later in the evening and want to wake up much later in the morning compared to younger kids or fully grown adults. The absolutely crucial takeaway for parents here: this delayed internal clock is pure biology. Reframing how we view the bedtime struggle changes the whole game. Your teen isn't lying when they say they aren't tired at 9:30 p.m. Their body genuinely just isn't ready for sleep yet. But here is where the smartphone comes in and creates a perfect storm. We call it the blue light trick. You see, your phone screen emits a specific wavelength of light that mimics daytime sunshine. When your teen stares at their phone in a pitch black room, their brain literally cannot tell the difference between that screen and the midday sun. This artificially shuts down the brain's melatonin factory. That's the hormone responsible for making us naturally sleepy. So not only is their biology already pushing their sleep time later, but that sneaky blue light is actively confusing their body clock and delaying that sleepy feeling even further. It's basically a biological hijack. And this brilliantly illustrates the vicious cycle that traps so many teens. We call it the anxiety loop. It all kicks off with late-night scrolling. And that scrolling inevitably leads to comparison, FOMO, the fear of missing out, and stress from whatever is on social media or the news. That stress causes cortisol, the stress hormone, to spike. High cortisol makes it even harder to fall asleep, which means they wake up significantly more tired and anxious the next day. And what do we all do when we feel tired and anxious? We reach right back for our phones to cope, starting the whole loop over again. Luna the Night Owl chimes in here with a fantastic point. It is a loop, sure, but loops can be broken. Before we talk about exactly how to break that loop, we really need to understand the stakes. Think of a rusty, worn-down brake pedal on a car. That perfectly captures this equation. Less sleep equals weaker emotional brakes. When sleep runs low, the emotional brakes in that already sensitive emotion engine we talked about get worn down to absolutely nothing. This is exactly why a bad night of sleep instantly translates into quicker anger, sudden tears, and extra worry the very next day. Their emotional regulation system simply doesn't have the fuel it needs to function properly. So how do parents actively support their teens in fixing this, without starting World War III in the hallway? Well, here is the big reveal and our primary solution: the phone-free bedroom rule.
It's simple. The phone charges outside the door. But it is so important that parents frame this properly. This is not a punishment. Not at all. This is about giving a developing brain its absolute best shot. It's one relatively small environmental change that yields massive, life-changing results for their mental health and their daily mood.
Now, I know what you're thinking. The very first thing your teen is going to say when you suggest this is, "But what about my alarm? I use my phone to wake up." We have to address this number one objection directly. Think about the old way, a glowing phone alarm surrounded by a chaotic, swirling mess of unread notifications. The very moment they open their eyes, they are hit with immediate stress. Contrast that with the new way, a simple, calm, retro-style real alarm clock. A mechanical or digital clock does exactly one job perfectly. It wakes you up. There are no notifications required, and it completely protects the peace of the bedroom. So how do you actually pitch this to a skeptical teen? You definitely don't demand it. Let's move to and see how this builds a much better dynamic. You use this exact non-confrontational script. Can we try this for just 1 week and see how mornings feel? By framing it as an experiment, a fun, low-stakes 1-week challenge, you immediately lower their defenses. You are treating them as capable and respected. You're letting them in on the brain science we just covered, and you're essentially asking them to be a scientist of their own life. It's a collaborative effort to just see if things can improve. To make this experiment actually work, though, you need a concrete plan. So here's a step-by-step nightly routine you can implement tonight. At 9:30 p.m., boom, the phone gets plugged into a charger outside the bedroom. At 9:45 p.m., they head into their room and physically set their real alarm clock. And at 10 p.m., they begin a wind-down ritual. Now, this shouldn't just be staring at the ceiling. It should be something genuinely relaxing, like reading a physical book, doing some light stretching, or listening to calming music. Having a clear visual timeline just like this removes all the guesswork and makes this new habit super actionable. As you both go through this 7-day challenge, it's vital to focus on the rewards. We're talking about a real transformation here, from that grumpy, foggy morning teen into someone with bright, energized morning vibes. When the phone finally leaves the bedroom, the benefits are incredibly motivating. We're talking about brighter morning energy, much calmer moods throughout the day, sharper focus in school, and let's be real, a lot more patience for siblings and parents. Contrasting these awesome positive outcomes with their current morning reality is a fantastic way to keep them motivated to stick with the challenge. So the crucial point is that this entire process is a team effort. Parents, this is your playbook for truly supporting their rest. If you want your teen to succeed, the absolute most important thing you can do is lead by example. Yep, that means you must charge your phone outside the bedroom too. You really can't ask them to change a habit that you aren't willing to change yourself. Keep your tone collaborative, never punitive. Celebrate the small wins. Hey, even if they just managed to put the phone away 15 minutes earlier at first, that's a win. Adjust gradually and work right alongside them. Remember, it's about supporting their rest, not policing it. As we wrap up today's explainer, I want to leave you with this core philosophy. Better sleep isn't about missing out on things. It's about waking up completely ready for everything. By understanding the brain science, dodging that snaky blue light trick, and making one simple environmental change, you can dramatically shift your entire family's morning dynamic. You've got the tools, you've got the scripts, and you've got the science. So I just have one last question to ask. Are you ready to ditch the phone, break the anxiety loop, and help your teen wake up truly ready for the world? Think about it. See you next time.